Agitavach. So I'll tell you, Maisa, as Hashem Yisparach this week is going to be the Yom HaKadosh, the holy day of Yom Kippur. So we know that, when it comes to Yom Kippur, so there's no question about it that all of Yom Kippur builds upon itself until eventually you get to the highest point, which is Neilah. And it's ironic because Neilah is obviously at the end of the day where our kaiches, our energy levels are the most depleted. That's when you have to sort of push the hardest to dig deep enough to get, those hidden resources in order to come to Neilah properly. But there's a Maisa, they say, about a very unique Neilah. So by the Tzaddik, by Rav Pinchas Karitzer, so people would travel, far and wide to be able to spend Yontif by Rav Pinchas Karitzer, and specifically Yom Kippur was considered to be an amazing experience to be by Rav Pinchas Karitzer for Yom Kippur. So there was a particular chassid of his name was Reb David. Okay, and this Reb David, every single year, he would travel to Yom Kippur. Now it happens to be, this Reb David, he didn't want to just have the opportunity to go to his Rebbe, Reb Pinchas Karitzer himself. So every single year, he would bring along different bachrim or different, young people that were able to make the trip. And so every single year is all different people. So one particular year, this Reb David is traveling with, some bachrim from the yeshiva, from the town that he was in, or maybe some young married men. And so they come to the town of Karetz, where Pinchas Karetzer is going to be. And we know that before Yom Kippur, so we have Suda Masekes, right? You have a whole meal. It's a mitzvah to eat an Erev Yom Kippur. So you have a meal, you eat and drink in order to, have food for that day, to have enough energies for Yom Kippur. And so, Reb David and his chaver that he was traveling with, they had a long day's travel. And so they were extra tired, extra hungry, extra thirsty. And so they were being hosted by a particular person, and they were all sitting and eating. And there was one particular bacher that was traveling with Reb David that was especially tired, and so he was eating, and he also had a few l'chaims, maybe a little bit more than he should, and there was still some time left before Kol Nidre, and so he told his chaverim, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go to my host of where I'm sleeping. And I'm just going to put my head down for a little bit. I'll meet you at shul. Okay. So he goes to wherever he's sleeping. He goes to the bed and he puts his head down and he wakes up. Now he thinks he's waking up maybe, 20 minutes later, whatever it is. And he looks outside. He sees it's a little bit dark. So he figures, he's late for Kol Nidre. So he quickly runs to shul and he gets in there. And he realizes to his shock and dismay that he's not late to Kol Nidre. They're about to start Neilah. He slept through Yom Kippur. Mamish slept through Yom Kippur. He was so exhausted, and he ate too much and so on. And he fell asleep and he slept through the whole day. No one came to wake him, and that's what it was. So at that moment, he's faced with a terrible nisayon. On the one hand, it's utterly deflating. He mamish slept through Yom Kippur. The whole thing, he was coming. First of all, it's Yom Kippur. Second of all, by Pinchas Karitzer, and the whole thing was a waste. He mamish slept through the whole Yom Kippur. But on the other hand, no, at least it's Neilah. He could at least chop a Neilah, to grab it, to try to accomplish something in the last few minutes. So he says to himself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to let the fact that I slept through all of Yom Kippur, I'm not going to let that take down my Neilah. I'm going to push myself and to put myself into Neilah. Now, it just so happens to be, because of the fact that he slept basically for a whole day, he was pretty energized. He had a lot of energy, as opposed to everyone else in the shul that's already exhausted from a whole day of avodah. And so when it comes to Neilah, this bacher, this guy, he's screaming and he's yelling and he's davening, mamish, with frische kaiches, with fresh energy. He's all full of energy because this is how he's beginning Yom Kippur, And so Neilah goes like that, and Ma'ariv and so on. And Yontiv is over. Reb Pinchas Karitzer, after Ma'ariv, after Yontiv is over, he goes to this Reb David, the one that brought these bachrim, and he said, "Who is that bacher that was davening with you? It's a powerful Neilah. I want to meet him." Okay, so Reb David says that to this bacher that Pinchas Karitzer wants to meet you. So he's like, "Oh, now I'm in trouble." He's like, "Are you coming? Where? It's not like in those areas there's other shuls where you can say that this person was davening in some other minyan." Reb Pinchas Karitzer, that was the minyan for Yom Kippur. So if you're not there the whole Yom Kippur, it means you weren't at shul Yom Kippur. So this bacher is feeling like he's going to get in trouble. So he goes from Pinchas Karitzer, and Pinchas Karitzer says, before you say anything, I just want to tell you that between us, there was there was a heavy din hanging over the Jewish people or specific Jewish communities over Yom Kippur. And I'm telling you, all the davening that we did weren't able to break through it. Wasn't able to break through. But somehow, by Neilah, I don't know where you got the kaiches from. I don't know where you got the energy from. But wherever you found that energy to give a Neilah like that, that was mamish. It was mamtik the dinim. It softened, it sweetened all the judgments. It brought mamish an unbelievable year to Klal Yisrael. And so Pinchas Karitz says to the Baruch HaShem, I just want to thank you on behalf of Klal Yisrael. Such an unbelievable gift that you gave us is mamish, all because of you and all because of the energy that you put into Neilah. This is an amazing thing. Rabbi Pinchas Karitzer at that moment is thinking that this is just like the Bacher, the Messiah. The accomplishment, the good year that Bacher brought down, it was certainly because of his self-sacrifice, his Mesiras Nefesh, his Kabbalah Sal Malchus Shemayim. But Rabbi Pinchas Karitzer was thinking that what was the Mesiras Nefesh, what was the Kabbalah Sal Malchus Shemayim of this Bacher? The fact that despite the fact that certainly he's tired from all of Yom Kippur, he was still able to muster up all the energy to daven Azan Neilah, such a Neilah. But the truth was that the Mesiras Nefesh that this Bacher was expressing wasn't the Mesiras Nefesh of pushing himself physically beyond his limitations. The Mesiras Nefesh of this Bacher was being able to push himself beyond his mental and emotional limitations of thinking down upon himself and saying, listen, you don't deserve to have an Neilah like that. And who are you to even daven an Neilah after you slept through all Yom Kippur? And him pushing past that and pushing past those negative thoughts that hold a person down and those the mental and emotional shackles that the Yitzhar puts us in, called despair and called yish, that was a Mesiras Nefesh. The energy that he had, of course he had the energy. He just got up from sleeping for 24 hours. The answer is what the Mesiras Nefesh, what brought a Yeshua to the Jewish people, to that Jewish community, was his ability to push past the yish, to push past the despair, to push past the tzabrochenkite, and to believe in the moment and the love of the Rabbanu Shalom for our tefillos, no matter what came before those moments of tefillah. And that's what we have to mechazik ourselves. Listen, all of us, we might have been sleeping a whole year, sleeping even more than a year. But adrab, if we've been sleeping and not taking davening or learning Avodas Hashem as seriously as we should, it means we have more energy now. And you push yourself weiter for Yom Kippur, and with that you'll be able to bring Yeshua to yourselves, to your families, and to all of Klal Yisrael. We should be able to experience the tahara, the kapara, the slicha, the chila that Yom Kippur is able to give us to such a degree of Lefnei Hashem Tatara that we should be able to be cleaned out from all chesroinus, from all deficiencies, from exile itself. We should be able to experience the Gula Shalem V'Amitis, B'meher V'Yameinu. Amen.